How do we manage corruption in the independent Western Cape? The problem with corruption at the moment is there's no accountability and there's no transparency. I often use the term smoke and mirrors. A lot of people operate on the basis of smoke and mirrors. Because there's no accountability, every 4 years they hope that they can convince the voters to vote them and keep them in power so they can maintain this one-party, state, top-down kind of governance. The moment you go to a direct democracy, there's the ability of the people to have direct recall of any official, office bearer, politician by way of a referendum. If you look at Switzerland, for instance, if you are appointed to a public office and you are not fulfilling your function or doing what you're supposed to do, the people can actually get together, and there's a certain percentage of a canton which must come together and then say, we want to have a referendum. They then have the referendum and they vote the person out of office. It's not a case of waiting for 4 years. So accountability on a direct governance level or in the direct governance structure is absolutely at the order of the day. A top-down government means it's ruling by a majority party or a one-party state. In other words, you have one government structure that makes all the laws, all the rules. There's no direct input from the people. Whereas in a direct democracy where your government is decentralized down to a municipal level or what we say a district government level, which is basically the 6 areas in the Western Cape, where the people would have a far better and a far more direct input. So a top-down government totally ignores the people on the ground, whereas a direct democracy can be seen as a bottom-up government structure where the people have a real input in the government. So what we propose is akin to the Switzerland Canton system, where you have 6 district governments. Each district government will have its own system of governance, and you'll have one very mean and lean central government system. So that central government system would run things like your foreign affairs, like your defense, like your external trade, but your district governments will run everything else within that district, your policing, your municipal services, your own laws. Each district may have its own flag. So that is the basis of a direct democracy. Switzerland is running on a federal system, which the cantons each represent themselves. They have their own rules, their own laws. You pretty much can get a set of rules that apply to one canton, which would not apply to the next canton. So that is the basis of what we are looking at. So what's the concept of a direct democracy? At the moment, you will vote for a political party. That political party will appoint whoever they see fit to run any office portfolio, be it tourism, agriculture. So the party itself is basically putting their stamp on how they see governance being done or delivered to the people. Why do you have service delivery protests? Because there are certain protocols within a political party that dictates what the rules should be and what the office bearers should follow and what they're allowed to do or not to do or to say or not to say. So with a direct democracy, where first of all your party's got to come down to having a local mandate, let's call it a local mandate, which serves the people. So you have to act in the interest of the people. A direct democracy, you'll most probably get your district government people elected from within a certain community. So first of all, you don't have a person sitting in Johannesburg deciding on policy for somebody in Mitchell's Plain. Mitchell's Plain will find that a lot of their own people, the local people, are actually serving on the local councils, be it a municipal structure, be it a divisional structure or a district government structure. So that first of all brings the whole or decentralizes government down to the level of the people. Direct democracy simply means, like in the old days where you could, in a municipality, each area would have their own municipality. So let's take Cape Town, for instance. If I have a problem in Tableview, I have to lodge a complaint, which is filed within the greater mega city of Cape Town, and you actually sit in a system where you are just another complaint. Previously, where you had municipalities and places like Bellville, Goodwood, Parow, Rondebosch, each had their own municipality where you can literally walk into the municipal office and lodge a complaint and directly have action taken on that complaint. So direct democracy simply meaning the people are being brought back and in close contact to the actual seat of government. So you don't have a party dictating to you, which is most of the times not even in your community or in your neighborhood. You don't have policies being dictated to you, which is coming from a national mandate. And you can actually have the instrument of a referendum to remove anybody that's not fit for office. And that is very much the difference between a direct democracy and, again, the one-party, top-down type of government structure we have at the moment. Question is, what will you do after you've had a referendum? What prevents any political party to establish themselves in the Western Cape and again take over? And it again becomes a one-party, top-down state. The reality is that the ANC, for instance, has never won in the Western Cape. They've never been in control of the Western Cape. So obviously the voting pattern of the people in the Western Cape is different than the rest of South Africa. That in itself will tell you that any party who's currently got a national mandate will not survive in a new sovereign state of the Western Cape. Your mandate has got to be realigned in terms of what the people really need. So we come back to transparency and accountability and the concept of a direct democracy. If you are now not relevant anymore to the needs of the people, you will not be voted in an election. It's as simple as that. So let's take the ANC, for example. After independence, we have an election again, which is where the political parties will come into play. At the election, the ANC has got to come and tell people where they've never had a win in an election. They've now got to tell them something, or I nearly want to say sell them something, which will convince the people. So the pure facts on the table will tell you that the chance of that happening is very, very little. The people has been voting anything but ANC or EFF in the Western Cape exactly because of their concern of how it's often put in the media of keeping the Cape safe. So with a direct democracy, the chance of that is very, very little.
Be careful. They'll say you're a dreamer.
Yes, but I'm not the only one.
We need your support to make this a reality for everyone. So register your support for Western Cape independence at www.capeexit.org.